Hello, you awesome friends. I'm with my friend HEC from the UK. How you doing, HEC?
Hey, Ed, lovely to see you. Absolutely excited to be talking to you. And I can see that's a cracking view you got in the background. It's very, very nice indeed. And it looks very, very nice there.
And just to let you know, it's not photoshopped. It's actually a real background. See, if there was a green screen, I couldn't do this. See? No
love
green.
it. No. I'm afraid I'm sitting in an untidy room. So I've given myself a bit of a half decent background with a nice guy sort of sitting over there. But that's fine. That's fine.
Now, HEC, you are an amazing man. I've spoken to you at length off camera. You know, the legendary Adrian Lee, and you're a global fitness star. Tell us a bit about you, HEC.
Okay, Ed. Well, I like the great Adrian Lee, who's been into fitness for many years. I started my fitness journey probably as a teenager, staying fit and staying strong. My background is actually engineering. I've worked in different parts of the world, the UK, the US, Spain, and that was building bioethanol plants. In the UK, I've worked in a gas control room. And so that is my background. And I actually started working in coaching. I became a personal trainer several years ago. And then I've really very much been sort of following my passion in the last few years, just getting people to see the benefits and the value of living a strong and a healthy life. Which is just a game changer. That's really what I'm mainly focused on now as a coach and as a personal trainer.
Oh, it's incredible. And just a point, you look a bit like Jason Statham. Do you get that a bit, HEC?
It's funny you should say that. When I lived out in the US back in 2014 and 2015, I used to be in a supermarket and I would have people sort of nudging each other going like this. Because obviously, what with the accent and the look, it was rather obvious. In the worst circumstances, I actually got people stopping me and taking pictures with me, much to my wife's utter embarrassment. So yes, it's been funny over the years. Funnily enough, circumstances, we were born in the same year. We're only a few months apart, and he's sort of 2 inches taller than me, a bit more muscle than me, and 2 inches taller. But it's just a funny coincidence, yes.
And I could talk about Jason Statham all day, as I think he's awesome. You said the M word being muscle. Now, 2020, of course, was the craziest year, at least in my existence, crazy year of all the lockdown stuff. Tell me, HEC, what was the biggest fitness and life and health lessons you learned during the year of lockdown in 2020?
Interesting you say that. I went online, sheer coincidence, I guess, back in 2019. So by the time we rolled into 2020, I was already online, coaching online, which was odd, I guess. The biggest lesson, none of us could have planned this. Here in Blight in the UK, we thought, oh yes, it's all be sorted out by the summer. So all of a sudden, the summer rolled through and we were still in lockdown. And we've had quite a severe lockdown for months. We've had the first wave, the second wave, it's been months. And I guess the biggest lesson really for me was that consistency. Is whatever you do, you need to find a plan and a way to do things that will support you and support others and be consistent. So it's not so important whether you have to do that workout every day or you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Have something that suits you, but something that works with you and you do it on a regular basis. I think that for me was the biggest lesson. And of course, that's what I try and empower my clients with. Not everyone likes getting up early or working out first thing in the morning. It's have a routine and a method that works for you. But whatever it is, do it regularly.
Now, on that note, you're a very motivated guy, and so am I for that matter. And I'm more speaking to my older self than the people who aren't as motivated. It's easy for you and I to say that because we're motivated, disciplined people. But what if you're like the older Edwards here? What if you lack that discipline? What's your message to people who lack that discipline, that need that extra bit of help? What's your message to those people? Basically, my older self.
Yeah, that's a good question, Ed. And I often find that when I get to work with people and they're not feeling themselves, how do you go to that point of feeling better and getting things done? I think it comes from a point of making that line in the sand and acknowledging you want to be better and you want to change and you want to go to a different place. I think that first bit of acknowledgement, don't worry about the how, don't worry about what's the recipe to get to the next place, is make that conscious decision to say, look, I'm sick and tired of being 20, 30 pounds overweight. I'm sick and tired of being tired. I'm sick and tired of not being able to get up in the morning. There must be a better way. Now, once you make that acknowledgement and you make that decision, then you can reach out to someone and say, Ed, do you know anyone? Does anyone know anyone? How do I do this? Go and find out who's that guy, who's that lady who's going to be able to help you. But I think the first thing is to make that decision. Motivation's a funny thing because it's actually finite in that you can get in the morning very motivated, around middle of the day you're knackered, and it's all sort of gone. And that is where you need to get other bits. That's where discipline comes in, where you do things regularly in a particular way to ensure it helps with your motivation. And that could be sleeping, you're eating properly, and so forth. I don't know if I've answered your question there.
It's good. And just on that note, I know a lot of people suffer this problem as I did. I binge eat very bad, not so much anymore, but I used to really binge eat badly, right? And I go on junk food sprees. To those that binge eat, again, my older self, I haven't done it in a while, touch wood, but I'm going out to dinner tonight. What's your message to those people like me who binge eat a lot? What's your message to those people?
Actually, a lot of binge eating is to do with triggers. You often find, I'll give you a simple example, okay? Say you're doing okay for a number of hours and you happen to wander around the kitchen and you open the cookie drawer and all of a sudden you see the biscuit, the chocolate, that thing you really enjoy. And that's when you make the decision, do I eat one or do I eat 10? The biggest problem is that food shouldn't have been there in the first place. So if we had it in a different place or you don't see it, then you probably won't binge. And often you might sit on your favorite couch, Ed, and all of a sudden, before you realize, you got the packet of Doritos or you got the crisps, because you relate that couch and that location with having the Doritos. So a very simple way to avoid that is either sit on a different part of the couch or even sit in a different place, or be mindful that if you hit that couch, you're going to go for those Doritos. So once we become mindful of our triggers, we are less likely to succumb to them. And triggers are super powerful.
I got another answer. We take the couch and the couch and purify it with fire. We burn the couch. We blame the couch. Purification with fire.
A bit more dramatic, but I guess it would also work. Absolutely.
Well, I am Middle Eastern, and as you know, we take things to the extreme all the time. So there you go. Heck, I love where you're going. Now, Heck, how you obviously know what you're doing, and I'm very impressed. How can people get into contact with you if they want to get their health and fitness on track?
Well, you can see behind me, it's Fitness TMB, so fitnesstmb.com. That's the website. Also, you can send me a HEC SALGADO. You can send me a DM, and I'd be happy to help. And yes, I'm into making people feel better about themselves, feel stronger, live a healthier lifestyle, better well-being. And absolutely, I think my final point would be, Ed, people often don't realize, and you've actually covered this yourself when you do your press ups and when you do your running and so forth, unless you feel really strong and great, you probably don't fully understand the benefits of it. And if people just went through, even if it was a week or 10 days of feeling really good, they probably wouldn't want to go out, wouldn't want to return to the previous self. And that's my message. And that is, I don't think there's an excuse to not find the time. We're all busy, whether it's children, whether it's teenagers, whether it's older parents. But putting yourself first, making your health and fitness and your well-being number one, so you can serve not just yourself, but you can serve others and support others. But for that, you need to be the best that you can be. That'll be my final message, Ed.
Oh, Heck, just beautiful. Love your work. And I want to give you the final word. What's your final closing thought? The floor is yours, Heck.
Thank you so much, Ed. And just my final thought is, guys, do the right thing, drink that water, think about yourselves, get that sleep in, and be the best you can. And don't forget, live energized.